Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only the best. I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooter's gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I fall, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only the best. I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
Hey everybody, so welcome. I was not planning on going live today. However, as I was looking for something to watch while I wound down before bed, I came across a story of a mass shooting that happened at a Walmart in Florida City. And the suspect is in custody. And so I was going to do a recorded video, and then I asked Bash, should I go live? Should I do recorded? And she said, go live. It's more fun. And I agree, even though what we'll be talking about is not really fun. I also have another article that I had come across in regards to, if anyone's a soccer fan, the World Cup is beginning. And there was a mass shooting on the eve of the Women's World Cup commencement. So I'm going to just talk about that quickly. And I also have a story that I came across last night of a girl who was run over after a Braves game. And the suspect in that is also in custody. So just a few random stories that I also am going to talk about with this, just because they don't really go with what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, which is a lot of updates in the cases I've been following, specifically the mass shooting in Philadelphia. There was a subsequent shooting in Philadelphia at a vigil that was being held for one of the victims of the initial mass shooting. So as someone said to me earlier, Philadelphia is a mess, and it sure is. So that's going to be part of tomorrow's case update live. But first, what we're going to start with is the Walmart shooting in Florida City, which is Miami-Dade County. And welcome to everyone coming in. Okie Crime News, hello. Tia. Tom Rice, yes, I agree. I really like that music, and I actually found it on YouTube for free. And I also found the video for free as well. And I just, thanks to Bash, she actually helped edit it for me a little bit because mine was, I had used CapCut and it was a little not even. So she helped me cut out some of the extra. So I really do like it. Heather B. Beachy, hey, Heather was replaying. And yes, it was a fun live for sure. Wine, Crime, and Mayhem, hello. So we're going to start. So again, this is Miami-Dade County in Florida City, Florida. And this happened at a Walmart.
We continue following breaking news in Florida City.
Police surrounding a Walmart.
And just give me, actually, I probably shouldn't have made it bigger. I feel like when I do that, it messes up.
After a deadly shooting, and 3 suspects are still on the loose. Local 10's Roy Ramos is live with this developing story. Roy.
Nicole and Calvin, since we last spoke with you at 4:30, the scene has changed drastically, and that is because law enforcement has begun to leave the area. In fact, you can see one Florida City police officer out here, and just a few moments ago, I can tell you that several members of law enforcement came out with their guns, putting them away and taking off their armor. But I want to take you to video that we've been able to obtain, posted to Instagram, that takes you inside of this Walmart just moments after those shots.
And so, again, this is where social media comes in. And so this was right after the shooting, or, you know, when shots were fired, someone took out their phone and began videoing.
Shots were fired. You can see people waiting in line right there. And we've actually stopped this video before it shows a man lying on the ground. This obviously one of the victims that was hit in the gunfire out here. Right now, we are trying to find out who exactly that is. As soon as we gather more details on that, we'll be sure to let you know. But I want to take you back out to Sky 10 so you can get an idea of just how large this scene was at one point. The entire parking lot of this Walmart Supercenter right off of the Turnpike in US 1 shut down. It remains shut down. This, of course, after shots were reported fired inside of that supermarket. Law enforcement obviously responding out here to find several victims hit in the gunfire. Now, they did search for a gunman, and we do know that one person was taken into custody, Sky 10 above, as that person was placed in the back of a Florida City police officer's cruiser. Now, of the victims, at this point, we do know that 3 people were hit in the gunfire, and just moments ago, we've learned, unfortunately, one of them did lose their life. I did get a chance to speak to a man who was inside who saw 2 of the victims hit. Here's what he told me.
I heard 6 shots. And then everybody was running away. They were just, it was a chaos, like boom, 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 boom. And then this guy came, and I think he fell down when they do the nail stuff, and he got shot right there in the chest 2 times. And he was bleeding. I don't know if he's dead, but they took him with the air tank and everything to the hospital. I don't know if he's dead. Another guy got shot in the leg. There were 6 shots.
And again, this shooting now fatal. Of course, the scene much different than what we showed you at 4:30. Now just a few officers that remain on scene securing this area. But one of the things that caught my attention was there were several units with Miami-Dade Fire on standby as they were continuing to search inside of this supermarket. Those units with fire rescue have since left. So right now, we're working to get an update from Miami-Dade police. As soon as we gather more details on this, we'll be sure to let you know. But we can tell you that one suspect is in custody. 3 people hit in the gunfire, one of them losing their life. For now, here in Florida City, Roy Ramos, Local 10 News.
And I actually started on the wrong slide, so we're going to go back to, this one is very short. This was actually one that had shown kind of what was happening immediately after. So we'll just look at this one quick, but I realized I was in the wrong order.
Following breaking news out of South Florida, Miami-Dade
And I don't know why it does this. It's completely...
Police officers say at least 1 person is dead and 2 people hurt after a shooting at a Walmart. This happened about 3 hours ago near the Florida Turnpike in Florida City, south of Homestead. Miami-Dade police arrested a man in connection, but they have not released information about who the person is that they arrested or what led to the shooting. We are staying on top of this, working to get more information. We will keep you updated on air, and we'll also bring you updates from the 10 Tampa Bay app as well.
Okay. And then there's just, I think I have one more. Yes, one more on this, and then we'll get into some of the other stories that I saw come across my feed or email.
A shooting inside a Walmart in Florida City.
Oop. Okay, now the play button isn't working.
We've been bringing you live updates on this breaking story for the past hour and a half.
Now, it's a developing situation, and we're working to find out the latest information from investigators at the scene. We know it has turned deadly.
Let's get right over to CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister. She rushed to the scene as soon as we learned what was going on. Anna, what can you tell us?
Lauren, Elliott, a large portion of this Walmart parking lot is taped off. Police are still investigating inside. And I want to show you some aerials of what happened earlier this afternoon. Witnesses say this all unfolded shortly after 3 o'clock. There were choppers all over this area circulating over the Walmart after police received calls about an active shooter. Right now, we know that at least 3 people were injured, and unfortunately, one of those victims has died. 1 man was shot in the foot. Another man was shot in the abdomen. This is all per police. And the gunshot victims were transported to South Trauma Center, where unfortunately 1 of those men did die. We spoke to a woman who was inside of the Walmart with her young daughter when the shooting happened.
And as soon as you hear those 4 bangs, like screaming, and it was like a stampede of people running. Someone actually fell, and it was like for a second you freeze because you know, what do I do? Do I run? Do I hide or what? But I just took her and ran.
We do know that another...
And I can't imagine you're in there shopping and just, doing what you got to do in Walmart, and you hear gunfire.
A woman was injured as she was trying to escape that chaos. We also...
Come on, you can do it. All right. I don't know what's happening with this computer.
So do note that a man, an adult man, he is in custody as the suspect. We're still working to learn more about the condition of the other 2 victims, and we're still waiting for an official update from police. But as we learn more, we'll continue to keep you updated on air and online. But for now, reporting live from Florida City, Anna McAllister, CBS News, Miami.
Okay, and just an article that I did find, it's not very long, and this was updated 20 minutes ago. So just to give some more background, there's that same picture that seems to be shown A shooting Wednesday afternoon at a South Florida Walmart killed one person and wounded another, authorities said, adding that several other people were injured in the commotion that followed. The shooting occurred following a quarrel between two groups at the Walmart in Florida City, about 25 miles southwest of Miami. Miami-Dade police spokesperson Alvaro Zabaleta said. One person was arrested and police were looking for 5 more suspects. Rescue workers transported 2 victims to a Miami trauma center, and one later died. The man who died was involved in the confrontation, while the other victim was a bystander who was shot in the foot. Several others were injured during the commotion caused by the shooting. A woman who fell and hit her head was taken to a hospital. Rescue workers treated 5 other people for minor cuts and scrapes outside the store. So that is all that is really coming out at this point. However, one person has been arrested. There are 5 more suspects that police are looking for. And again, this was an altercation between 2 groups of people where others also were injured. So the next we're going to go to is this was a girl was ran over on purpose after a Braves game. And I tried looking up more information on this before I went live, but I didn't see anything newer. So I am going to look into this more. And if I can find anything, I will talk about it tomorrow during my live. But this came across my feed yesterday and I was like, okay, this is something I want to look at because this sweet girl was ran over on purpose.
A teenage girl faces charges today of felony murder. Police accused the 18-year-old of deliberately striking a woman in the parking lot of Cumberland Mall after an Atlanta Braves game on Sunday. Good afternoon, and thanks for watching today. I'm Christine Spiro. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes joins us from Cobb Police Headquarters with the story. And Deidre, you spoke with the victim's family this afternoon. Who told you what happened?
I spoke with the victim's family, Christina, and they are just heartbroken, simply devastated. 25-year-old Paige Jenkins, her sisters and her dad were enjoying an outing on Sunday when this whole day took a deadly turn. And the person now accused of striking this young woman, her sisters say, ran her down like she was a piece of trash. That person is now behind bars, charged with murder. Now, Jenkins, her father, and 2 sisters were returning to their cars after attending the Braves game Sunday evening when they crossed paths with a suspect at Cumberland Mall. Jenkins' sisters say suspect Vanessa Robinson was driving through the parking lot as Jenkins and her family were walking to their vehicles. Jenkins' sister Keisha Lewis says Robinson almost struck her with her vehicle.
And this girl does not, well, one, she doesn't look very happy, but to me, she looks quite menacing, if I do say so myself.
And the women exchanged words. Now, when Paige Jenkins heard the women arguing, she came to her sister's defense, telling Robinson to watch where she was going. Now, Lewis said Robinson drove off, circled back, and then mowed Paige Jenkins down in the parking lot. Jenkins was rushed to Keystone Hospital, but did not survive her injuries.
It was very intentional because the same way that she left that scene is the same way that she should have left out before she came back to hit my sister. So it was no accident. It was she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing.
She had a second to think before she hit my sister with her car.
Now, police did track down the 18-year-old, arresting her in Fairburn. She's now charged with felony murder and aggravated assault and remains behind bars without bond tonight. We are live in Cobb County. Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
Wow, the recollection of all the events, just absolutely horrible. Deidre, thanks so much. Faces charges today of felony.
So definitely a horrifying situation. And so the last story I want to talk about, and I am going to be looking into this more as well, is a mass shooting that occurred on the eve of the Women's World Cup in New Zealand. And the gunman is dead, which is good. And I am going to look more into any information that might be out there on the victims. So again, this is from NBC News. Gunman kills 2 in New Zealand on the eve of the Women's World Cup. Authorities said the gunman is dead and 6 other people were injured. The soccer tournament will go ahead as planned, Prime Minister Chris Hipkins said. Oops. Let me turn the volume on. That would probably be a good idea. All right, what is this doing?
Just hours before the Women's World Cup starts there. We want to show you now a live look outside the building where the shooting apparently happened. You can see a few people have gathered there. We're just learning in the last few minutes that the U.S. women's team says all members of the team are safe and accounted for. I want to go right to Josh Letterman. Josh, tell us more about what we know, the location where this happened, and anything else you can find out tonight.
Well, Hallie, we're finding out the first details about how this incident went down. It started at about 7:20 in the morning in New Zealand, where it's now Thursday morning, where police say that this suspect walked into the building and opened fire and then moved throughout the building to the upper floors of this building, which again is under construction. He continued to shoot. And when police responded, they found him barricaded inside of an elevator shaft. Police say that they tried to engage with the suspect, but he just kept shooting. And a short time later, they found him dead. Now, police have not said at this point whether it was a police officer who shot him or whether possibly this individual shot himself. But we do know that the police say that they do not see this currently posing a national security risk. They say this was an isolated incident. And in fact, this building was not anywhere near any of the stadiums that were involved in the Women's World Cup, which is set to kick off tomorrow. And so at this point, there's no indication that this is tied to that sporting event. But certainly this is bringing back a lot of painful memories for people in New Zealand from just back about 4 years ago when they had that massive, horrendous mass shooting in Christchurch that killed 51 people at a mosque. In the wake of that incident, New Zealand really stepped up their gun.
And I remember that, the incident in Christchurch, that was horrifying, to say the least.
Control, banned semi-automatics, and a whole host of other steps. And so this is one indication that this gun violence problem is still continuing to affect New Zealand as well.
Josh Letterman, thank you for the updates. I know you'll stay on top of it. Thank you. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
No, stop. So again, I'll just read this. A gunman killed 2 people at a downtown construction site in New Zealand's largest city of Auckland on Thursday as the nation prepared to host games in the FIFA Women's World Cup tournament. Authorities said the shooter was also dead. Authorities said 6 other people, including at least 1 police officer, were injured during the shooting, which took place near hotels where Team Norway and other soccer teams have been staying. New Zealand Prime Minister Chris Hipkins said the tournament would go ahead as planned. Clearly, with the FIFA World Cup kicking off this evening, there are a lot of eyes on Auckland. The government has spoken to FIFA organizers this morning, and the tournament will proceed as planned. I want to reiterate that there is no wider national security threat. This appears to be the action of one individual. Hipkins said the shooter was armed with a pump-action shotgun. Police arrived 1 minute after the first emergency call and had run into harm's way to save lives. These kinds of situations move fast, and the actions of those who risk their lives to save others are nothing short of heroic. Acting Police Superintendent Sunny Patel said the man began shooting at the site on Lower Queen Street at about 7:20 a.m. Police swarmed the area. The man moved through the building, firing at people there. And here, armed New Zealand police officer officers stand at a roadblock in the central business district in Auckland after a shooting Thursday. Upon reaching the upper levels of the building, the male has contained himself within the elevator shaft, and our staff have attempted to engage with him. Further shots were fired from the male, and he was located deceased a short time later. It wasn't immediately clear if police shot the gunman or he killed himself. Outside, armed police officers had the commercial business district on heavy lockdown, with streets cordoned off surrounding the tourist Harbor Ferry terminal area. Police demanded bystanders disperse and ordered people inside their office buildings to shelter in place. The incident comes as soccer teams and fans gathered in New Zealand for the FIFA Women's World Cup. The opening match is scheduled for Thursday between New Zealand and Norway. Team Norway captain Maren Gjeld said team players woke up quickly when a helicopter began hovering outside the hotel window. We felt safe the whole time. FIFA has a good security system at the hotel, and we have our own security officer in the squad. Everyone seems calm, and we are preparing as normal for the game tonight. Team USA said all of its players and staff are accounted for and safe. It said the team was in communication with local authorities and proceeding with its daily schedule. New Zealand banned assault weapons in 2019, weeks after a gunman killed 51 people at 2 mosques in the city of Christchurch during the nation's worst mass shooting. A subsequent buyback scheme saw gun owners hand over more than 50,000 AR-15 style rifles and other assault weapons to police. The ban does not include all semi-automatic weapons. Hipkins said it wasn't immediately clear if the weapon the gunman used would have been covered by the ban. Officials at Eden Park, where the opening match is taking place, said there were encouraging ticket holders. Officials at Eden Park, where the opening match is taking place, said they were encouraging ticket holders to arrive early, and there would be an increased security presence at the venue. Tourism New Zealand canceled the media welcome party, which was scheduled to be held Thursday afternoon at a location within the cordoned off area. So that is what I have for tonight. Tomorrow, I am going to be, like I said at the beginning of this live, I will be talking about a shooting that took place in Philadelphia at the vigil for a recent other mass shooting victim. And I'm also going to be, Hippoporium had brought up the mass shooting in Fargo, where one police officer did lose his life. I will also be covering that. That's been on my back burner for some time now, so I definitely want to talk about that. And I will be looking into any updates we might have on the New York City mass shooting with the man on the moped that just went through Brooklyn and Queens shooting people. So, yes, I agree, Phyllis. What the hell? And what's going on? Crazy stuff is going on. That's what's happening. So, yes, I'm glad I came live because I got to see some of you again. And I have a really hard time doing the pre-recorded videos because I always screw up. I have to restart and then I get frustrated. So at least if I'm live and I mess up, I just keep on going. Whereas if I'm doing a recording, I just want to stop and redo it because I know that I made a mistake. So, oh, they had a presser. I just saw the rest of your message, Hippoporium. So they had a presser going on. Got it. Okay, so that's good to know because I'll check that out. So, yes, women in tech. Well, listen. Anyways, I am going to go because I need to go check on the baby kittens who two of the boys and the girl got fixed today. The third brother, he did not because I can't catch him. So he lucked out today. And I've been watching them on camera and they seem to be doing okay, but I have to make sure that they don't get too wild because we don't want their incisions to open. So with that being said, I hope everybody has a good rest of your night and I will see you all tomorrow. My live is scheduled for 11:30 right now, but you know how that goes. I am always late. So until next time, I will see you all on the flip side.